What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Dreamcatcher's 8th EP, Apocalypse from Us, completing the Apocalypse trilogy. Dreamcatcher back with their first release since renewing their contracts at the end of 2022. And I think Dreamcatcher is an incredibly notable and interesting act in K-pop for several reasons. I think these reasons are pretty obvious, but one, they're signed to a small label, a label that in fact changed its name from Happy Face Entertainment to the Dreamcatcher Company. They are the face of a small label and not a big four K-pop label. So that's success you always like to see because they're kind of operating outside that like mainstream industry. And on top of that, they're further operating outside the mainstream because of their musical sound, their musical identity. Dreamcatcher, ever since they debuted in 2017, makes rock music. They have metal influence. At the most charitable, you could say it's like dark pop, but it's really like, K-pop's take on rock music. And they are by far and away the face of hearing rock in K-pop. And as a result of that, they've been very successful touring. They've been just a very successful group despite their largely independence in terms of sonic direction and, like distribution and whatnot. So I think they're just really cool in that regard. Having already renewed all 7 members, we're approaching that second act of this group. I think this, 8th EP, Apocalypse from Us, the 7th EP, end of last year, one of the other Apocalypse EPs, and then the second album that came out about a year ago in 2022. This is kind of like the continuation of like this era we're in here. But yeah, I think this is a great example of what Dreamcatcher does and a perfect jumping in point for anybody new. They have a fair amount of catalog already, obviously 8 EPs, but with this one, like, it's very brief. 5 songs. One of those is the intro from Us. But right away on that intro song, the guitar solo kicks in very quickly. And you're like, yes, this is what I'm in for. And then they waste no time. You get right into the title track, Bonvoyage, which has a music video out now. Man, the drums go so hard on that. And the guitar goes so hard. This is a great example of like on like the chorus, the chorus that Bonvoyage has. It's not exactly like a hook heavy song. The chorus, it's like really metal, like really jamming out on the guitar. It goes really hard. And I think honestly it reminds me of like what an anime opening credits song would sound like when you hear like those extended opening credits on an anime or even just a Asian cartoon. And a lot of times it has like that really extended outro like with the guitars, and like I don't know, this reminds me of exactly that vibe of like the title sequence. Really funny to me, but I think it sounds really awesome. um Bon Voyage, I think, was my favorite song on the album. Kind of unexpectedly with Bon Voyage, you have a rap verse coming in, like the second verse, and it actually fits the song pretty well. I really enjoy the delivery. I think it's really well done. Following up Bon Voyage, track 3, Demian, also really hard once again. Just the guitar again just sounds so great, and I think what's really cool about Dreamcatcher too is like these are not songs designed to be trendy or fit for TikTok or whatever. They don't really have like grabby hooks like that, big catchy choruses. That's not what it is. It's almost like a song where it's like the build of the song, the build of the instrumentals, it is more of the point, the more of the attraction, and the vocals really like fit in there nicely. Whether they're really hard vocals matching the tempo of those guitars, or it's a little slowed down in between the big high moments. It's pretty interesting how they make these songs. The beginning of Demian also had a really brief reminder for me where it's like the sound towards the beginning reminds me of the Seinfeld like scene transition like jingle song. I don't know why that's where it's bringing me, but that's where it brought me. Track 4, Propose, I also like quite a bit. And the guitar line is like super distinct on that. Sounds awesome. The rap on that though really acts as more of a switch up than the rap on Bon Voyage does. I don't think the rap on Propose fits nearly as well. That can be an issue with K-pop sometimes, where like a hip hop verse is almost like ham-fisted into the song, like for conceptual reasons and doesn't necessarily fit the rest of the vibe. I don't think it just detracts so much from Propose, but didn't quite feel as seamless the way the rap does in Bonvoyage. And then the last song, To You, is I think a really nice come down song, really nice outro, taking the temperature back down, slowing down that tempo just a bit, and before you know it, the EP is over, 14 minutes. And yeah, I mean, I think just my takeaway is like shout out Dreamcatcher for really intentionally from the very beginning trying to carve out their own path and sticking to it, not jumping at any trends, not selling out like one song on the project to chase the radio or whatever. That's not what they do. And I think they've really earned that status as like the face of rock and K-pop because the success speaks for itself. But let me know, how did you feel about Apocalypse from us, from Dreamcatcher? Let me know. And for more music reviews, more K-pop reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.